and welcome to yet another exciting episode of SportLink, our sport talk show that showcases topical Gambian and international sport news. The main aim is to bring to light the various sporting activities and events in the Gambia and around the world. On the newscast today, renovation work at the Gambia's main stadium has finished. Athletes would now be able to use the track after completion of work. And Kenyan striker Michael Olunga, who last year begged Arsenal to sign him, has finally completed his transfer to Gambia's Omar Colley's Swedish side. On this week's Suma Legend, we again hear from Gambian's boxing legend Badou Jack to take us through his sporting life and ask the question, is the 32-year-old still single? Finally, on our viewpoint, our panelists discuss on Arsenal 2-1 win over Leicester City on Valentine's Day. And they also discuss on Gambia's domestic league, which enters its final first round of matches this weekend. These and many more coming up in the next 15 minutes. I am your presenter, Sirrah Chorr.
Welcome to the news segment on SportLink. I am Barrow. Thank you for coming along. We begin with the news that the International Olympic Committee IOC member for the Gambia, Ms. Patrice Allen, on Thursday inspected the renovation work on the athletic track at the Independence Stadium in Barrow. The work is part of the major renovation ongoing at the country's main multipurpose sport complex. Patrice Allen, who doubled as the first vice president of the Gambia National Olympic Committee, GNOC, was very instrumental in getting funds from IOC towards the acquisition of a modern athletic track for the Gambia. Accompanied by Marcel Mendy, Executive Director of National Sport Council, Mr. Pasware Fai, Acting General Manager of the stadium, and other staff of the council. Ms. Allen was on an invitation by the President of the Gambia Athletic Association, GAA, Alaji Dudu Kapiju, to seek first-hand information about the project. The project, jointly financed by the Government of the Gambia, the IAAF, IAF Foundation, and the IOC through GNOC, consisted the redoing the quarterways and other major engineering work, as well as laying of the world-class athletic track by IOC appointed renowned specialist company Mondo. The project estimated over $400,000, so the IAAF contribute $80,000, IAF Foundation $100,000, IOC through GNOC $160,000, making it a total contribution of $340,000. Elsewhere, Finland-based Gambian judoka fight Alex Njai on Monday, February 15, lost to a Brazilian opponent in the quarterfinals of the Rio 2016 Olympic qualifiers. Njai, who earlier won the Gambia first silverware medal in the history of all Africa Games last year, earlier defeated his first opponent, who comes from Hungary. He went on to beat his Kazakhstan opponent in the second round of the qualifiers held in Australia. In the third round, he defeated a Cuban before going on to close to a Brazilian in the quarterfinals. In a bid to qualify to Rio 2016 Olympic Games, Alex took part in the 73 kilo category in 44 athletics representing 29 countries. In the third place playoff, he lost against a Russian, though capturing 7th position in the competition. As it stands, it is expected that his ranking will improve, thus making him stand a very good chance of qualifying to the Rio 2016 Games. To football, and former Africa's boss Javi Renard has been appointed as the new coach of Morocco on a 3-year deal, replacing Badou Jack. Renard led Africa's to the African Cup of Nations title in 2015, 3 years after winning it with Zambia. After his Nation Cup victory with the Elephants, Renard left to take over at France Club Lille in May but was sacked in November. Zaki left as coach of the Atlas Lions by mutual consent on 10th February. As well as the full national team, Morocco Football Federation have announced that Renard will coach one of the local-based players and oversee the Olympic side. He has been set the target of reaching the semi-finals of the 2017 African Cup of Nations in Gabon, as well as qualifying for the World Cup a year later in Russia. And finally, Kenya international Michael Olunga, who asked Arsenal to sign him last year, has moved to Swedish side regarding IF from Kenyan Gomo Mahia. The 21-year-old published a video last year asking Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger to sign him. Instead, he has signed a 4-year deal with Jurgen after a month's trial. Olunga, whose nickname is Engineer due to his university studies as well as his football talents, admit he can be a slow starter. He joined Gambian international defender Omar Colley at the Swedish Allsvenska side.
Welcome to this week's edition of Sumo Legend right here on SportsLink. Sumo Legend is a segment that is created to highlight some top sporting personalities in the Gambia and around the world. I am Modlo MBI. Thank you for watching and welcome. And I'm delighted to see that today's broadcast we are sharing the platform with a legend and in no other than Mr. Badou Jack, a WBC super middleweight boxing champion for the Gambia, who actually applies his trade in the United States of America. But what I'll just do is, I'll just leave him to introduce himself, and also, as you can see, he's here together with his team. Badou Jack, welcome to the program, and let me just say, welcome to the Gambia.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, and you are?
Pao Marcham.
Mr. Pao Marcham, and next to me is?
Malik Jack Fantin.
Malik Jack, and the other guy is Mr. Mama Desise. I'm sure our viewers must have known about him. But Mr. Jack, can you please tell us how you started your career in boxing?
I actually started my career last time I was in Gambia after I came back, so around 15 years ago. So I had I think 150 amateur fights. I represented Gambia in the Olympics 2008. Then the year after I turned pro, moved to America, and I became a world champion, and now we're here back in Gambia.
Well, actually, let me just give you a pause there, because you're actually here with your, with your family and Mr. Jack as well. And let me come to him. Sir, how have you contributed and helped into Badou's career so far?
Yeah, I know that he's a good fighter, and I think his career is very important for everybody who love boxing around Sweden and Gambia, because he brought everything up again.
Right here, you're in Gambia, and a lot of people maybe will be like, why is Badou here in Gambia? What is he about to do? Or maybe he's just here on holiday to see how the country is. But obviously you came with some boxing materials you gave out to charity, to the various boxing gyms through the National Sports Council, that's the government, and as well as the Gambia Boxing Association. Those materials, did they come from Floyd, or it actually came from you?
Actually, I only had 2 days because it was a last-minute trip. So it came from me and from Ishe Smith, and also
He's a very good friend of yours.
Yeah, he's a former world champion. He's one of my best friends, and
he has African roots as well.
Yes, he's. I think he got Nigerian blood in him. Okay. So yeah, so he needs as much credit as I get, because he really want to come to Gambia too. He said, well, maybe next time if we have more time, we can plan. We can bring more stuff, and maybe I can bring him. Maybe some other fighters too. Maybe even Floyd.
Yeah, but finally, just before we wrap this interview, we're aware that you are 32 years of age, and obviously, following the social media accounts, a lot of the ladies out there will be like, "Oh, Badou Jack is too cute, and Badou Jack is this or that." But Badou, are you married or are you still single?
I'm married, unfortunately.
And obviously, you'll be expecting another addition to your family.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a daughter in mid-April, so yeah, I'm happy.
So there you go, and we pray and hope that everything goes through. But finally, before we just wrap up, let me bring in the other member of the Reaper family, Mr. Let us know. Yeah, Mr. Ahmad. Pa Marcham. Are you also a boxer or a fighter?
I'm not a fighter, but I've been there. I've been seeing him when he started boxing with other relatives, and I'm just a good friend to him, and I always try to support him in whatever he tried to do.
Mr. Badou Jack, thank you very much for giving us this time, and it's been really a pleasure having you in Gambia, and everybody out here is actually proud of you, and we are delighted to know that you have Gambian heritage, and we pray for your success and hope that one day you'll become a Floyd Mayweather as well. Thank you, Jack, and thank you, viewer, for watching. Goodbye until next week.
Hello viewers, welcome to Viewpoint right here on SportsLink. My name is Asatu Mbokum, and I have with me two gentlemen who are sports journalists, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
My name is Barrow from West Coast Radio.
And I am Modlo MBI. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. There was a match between Arsenal and Leicester City this February 14th on Valentine's Day. So, can you guys tell us how the match went?
Yeah, it was a cracker, the top of the table class between Arsenal and Leicester City. Arsenal were able to come out at the end of the day as a victorious. They beat Leicester City 2-1. A very, very important victory for Arsene Wenger's men, because slipping into Leicester City, that's their hope of winning the title. But winning against Leicester, they cut the lead to 2 points. They are joined second with their city rivals, that's Tottenham. I think it is a very important win for Arsene Wenger, because looking at the way Leicester are playing, if Arsenal slip against them, it's going to be a problem for them. But at the moment, Arsenal, they stand a better chance to winning the league at the moment, because Leicester are giving problem to every other team in the Premier League this year except Arsenal. They recorded a double victory over them, home and away. That was a very, very good game between Arsenal and Leicester City. Arsene Wenger's men, come on, they are on top of their games at the moment.
Okay, yeah, Molamin BI, what do you have to add to what he has said?
Well, actually, I actually concur with what he said, but it was not an easy game. It was very tough, because Leicester are a good team, top quality team, top standard team. They are very good players in Riyad Mahrez and Jimmy Vardy. He even scored against Arsenal, but Arsenal, I think they are the only team that has done the double over Leicester this season. They're a very good team, and just like I said, they are very hard to beat at home and even away. They have beaten Liverpool, they've beaten Manchester United, they've beaten Man City. Even coming into the Arsenal game, they beat Man City, inside Etihad Stadium. So Arsenal beating them and defeating them inside the Emirates and even inside the King Power Stadium. It's a very big boost for Arsene Wenger's team and their title challenge, because had it been they lost that particular game, it was gonna be disastrous for them, because everybody tipped them to win the league, knowing that Manchester United has been struggling this season. Chelsea, even Man City, even though they can do the quadruple and win about 3 trophies, but they're still struggling, So that victory is actually a very good one and a moral boosting one. Danny Welbeck coming back from injury, I'm very delighted for that guy. Danny Welbeck is that guy who helps. He did it for Arsenal.
Okay. Also, coming to the domestic league, GPA, they have their last match to go before the end of the season against their rivals. That's Real de Banjul, sorry. So, who do you think will win this match? Is it Real de Banjul, Brikama United, or instead the GPA?
Yeah, both teams are in a good shape going into this very crucial tie, because GPA are on top of the league at the moment and Real de Banjul are closing gaps very, very well. They were not doing good, but this past week they recorded a very vital win against Hawks, a very, very important victory for coach. It's going to be a cracker, a very, very tough encounter between the two sides, but at the end of the day, I tip Real de Banjul to be victorious at the end of the 90 minutes.
So, Molamin, do you agree with what Barrow is saying? Do you think Real de Banjul has an edge over the GPA team?
I don't do predictions because I'm not good in predictions. But what I can say is it's going to be a very tough game, because the coach of Gambia Port Authority was the former coach of Real de Banjul. He was actually the one that was there. That was Alaji Sad before they appointed Ahmad Cham and before Frankie van der Val came in. So it's going to be him meeting his former employers. I'm sure he will want to get the edge over them. He actually got the edge over them last season, a game that actually denied them, winning the league. And this time around, Alaji Sari is a very good coach. He's on high flyer right now with the GPA. And GPA are just like the Leicester of Gambia, The teams are finding it hard to beat them. They're still yet to lose, playing good, scoring goals, The minimum or the maximum you can get against them is a draw. So GPA Real de Banjul is a tough game, and may the best team win.
Thank you very much for joining us, Molamin BI, and thank you very much, Barrow. See you next week. I have been your host, Asatu Mbokum.
Welcome back, and thank you once again for being with us throughout. Unfortunately, that's all the time we had on this week's episode of Sportlink, but join us again next week as we continuously unravel more sport news. For a repetition of the show, you can check us out on YouTube on Affinity TV. For sponsors, please contact the GRTS marketing team. On behalf of the entire Sportlink production, we use this opportunity to wish the Islamic Republic of the Gambia a 51st independent anniversary. Until I come your way again next week, I am your presenter, Sirrah Chorr.